Hi everyone, welcome back to another Sensible SENCO thingy. You're not going to say it this week.
Deflicky.
This week we're going to talk about what we've been up to over the last year, how we've helped people, and
the fact we survived Christmas.
The fact we survived Christmas without baking trays. Or maybe with baking trays.
I think I bought myself a baking tray.
You did not buy yourself a baking tray?
No, a whip.
A whip?
Yeah.
Got...
For my hot chocolate.
Oh. I was like, I didn't see that in the Christmas presents. Sorry, people, if you are shocked about Abigail's life.
I have a whip for my hot chocolate.
A whip for the hot chocolate. Dirty.
It's a whisk.
Thingy.
It's a whisk.
Whisk. So over the last year, we have helped hundreds, maybe even thousands of you, as we've gone into schools, as we've done lots and lots of different things, put webinars on. And I just wanted to say thank you for you all joining us, supporting us, and
supporting each other.
Yeah, supporting each other, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's not just about us talking randomly at you all the time. It's about you supporting each other and helping that lonely role as a SENCO.
We just provide the platform for it to happen.
And the entertainment factor. Well, that's what I'm here for anyway.
Oh. Penny suddenly drops. That's why you're here.
Yeah. What?
Yes, Kevin. So this year we have put on a webinar just about every single week, and in the weeks we haven't put one on, we've perhaps put two on in another week, and they have been reasonably well attended. They've definitely been well subscribed to, but we don't always get full attendance.
No ranting. It's just gone Christmas, no ranting.
No ranting, but I am going to say, because we do only have 50 free tickets, if you're not going to attend live, don't take a free ticket. It's not fair.
We will probably have a limited amount of space as well. We've reduced our licenses and we've reduced the cost of the membership. That means we can't afford as much as we used to be able to afford.
We don't just turn on a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting and hit a record button and just share it. So therefore, there is a cost associated with absolutely everything we do. And if we're going to insist on recording and editing and putting that out there, which is what you are all asking for, that's fine, that's fair enough, because I know a lot of companies now don't do that. They only allow live attendance. But for us, because we're putting it out there, we've actually got, quite a lot of costs involved there, and time as well. Time is a cost at the end of the day.
I see that side of things, and I also see the other side of things where people are actually very appreciative of the time that we spent onto it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came back for the membership, the value of the membership in the survey that we've just done is, yes, it is really, really good value because we get the recordings of all the videos that we've done, and it's cheap as chips, or cheap as a coffee, as I'm going to keep saying. Coming up in the future, they will all be members only unless they are company sponsored. It's the only way that we can do it and make it viable for us. That was the word I wanted. Abigail beat me to it.
Shard.
Don't even go there. So we've been watching this
London Kills,
and Abigail is addicted to the Shard.
I'm not.
And the Shard comes up in several of the scenes and several of the programmes. And we've just binge watched the whole lot of it. And we have a game where if you see it, you have to say it. So Shard, gherkin, pineapple, all those ones. O2, London Eye, and you have to guess when it's going to come up and be the first person to say it. I'm going to say that I lost big time.
I know where I am when I see the Shard, though. I can associate things around it.
You can see who spent more time in London and knowing our way around it than the other one. The newsletter, the development of our weekly update, and which turned into a monthly magazine, and the way that we're doing the magazine has all been down to the support of the SENCOs and what you wanted to hear from us. For the information, easy way to download it, easy way to disseminate this information to your teaching colleagues. And we created the magazine back in August. I think we did the first one that we were actually doing. It was a newsletter before that, a couple of pages. We had two designers that have done it for us. I can now announce the winner of this was B, Tuba, and she will be doing the rest of our magazine designs for us. So the website has come along a huge way as well, from what it was this time last year, when we'd really only just started kind of putting things together. I think we got to the interventions page, and if you go to it now, you'll see that a lot of it looks a lot more clean, crisp, and much better than it did before. We've still got some stuff to do, looking at the feedback, with the resources and trying to sort them out a bit better, and we'll look to do that in this year. Coming forward,
I think what we may do is end up having a big purge of the resources. So we were originally just a Facebook group, and people were sharing files on Facebook, and then they couldn't find the files you were looking for. So unless you know exactly one of the words that's in the title, you can't use the search function on Facebook to find something. So within Facebook, they introduced something called guides. So we set up guides. That also didn't particularly work very well. I decided I'll create a website, and I literally took every single file off Facebook. I posted them into a website, got pruned all the way down and put them on there, but there wasn't particularly a quality assurance check, because it was literally the resources that SENCOs had shared with each other. The idea is that yes, it needs tidying up, we need to sort them out a little bit better, but also we need to QA them and prune them and create a proper toolkit for SENCOs that has been created by SENCOs. I'm proud of what we have.
Oh, yeah.
Because it has been shared by everybody. We just need to hone in on it a little bit.
We definitely do. And once we've done that, we'll then have our own members section that will have our own resources onto it. We've said it's been coming for a while. We just haven't had the time to be able to build and sort that out properly.
Really great people share the resources for that as well. So Lorraine Peterson shared some materials, Natalie Packer shared some with us, Gary Orbin shared some with us. So we've got some of those materials ready. Well, we're just too busy because we're trying to sort out Sensible 24 as well.
And we're trying to sort out Sensible 24.
2 years ago, what we had, I said very randomly, does anybody fancy a meetup? And I ended up meeting a couple of people, and we sat and had a coffee, and it was absolutely fantastic. And what came out of that, from both the Facebook responses and that face-to-face meeting, was we want more of this. We want face-to-face. So we paused. We said, OK, well, we'll go to the TES show. And we joined everybody at TES show, come along and see us. And then it was, it's in London. London's too far for us. I can't come. OK. So we did go back again this year. But the idea was kind of planted that we needed to do our own event, and that's what everybody was asking for. Can we have a sensible SENCO event that we can come to as SENCOs, knowing it's been created by a SENCO, somebody who understands us and what we actually want and need, and bring everybody together in the room? First Sensible SENCO conference was born out of that.
And we said, yes, okay, we can do this. We said, oh my God, that's bloody expensive. And then we went, OK, we can do this because the SENCOs will all support us.
I think that I've been a little disappointed in the engagement with that, though. So, and I do get what some people are saying, but I think it still goes back to go and ask your senior leadership, because there are 12,300 odd members in that Facebook group. I know that it has gone out to about 20,000 different individuals, and we have not sold many of those tickets. So it has been a case of pull the money from elsewhere to make it happen.
Yep.
And I am disappointed because it was what you asked for. So we've done it for you, but then we're not getting the traction on it, I suppose.
It is what it is.
Feedback on
it is what it is. We're in this position now, and we will continue down that road. And then we'll
probably won't do another one.
we'll look at how it works for next time.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a no, because there is not being the engagement. It's we want this, we want this, we want this.
We want it for free.
We want it for free. Well, okay,
I can't do it for free.
It's £50 for you to walk through the door of that venue.
Yeah.
Everybody's going take, but there's nothing coming back for it, and I cannot afford to subsidise it.
No, well, we can't afford to subsidize. You should see our house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a picture of our house at the back of our house, and you'll realise that we
put everything into sensible.
You may think that we are really well off, and you'll see some of the stuff that we have to put up with on a daily basis, just because we don't take any money out of this sensible SENCO.
It's all put back in to support the schools and everything else. But unfortunately, at the moment, Sensible 24 is running at a massive loss, which has to come out of our own pockets because there isn't even enough money in Sensible SENCO to pay for it.
Hey ho, these things happen, and we try these things, we see if they work, and then we'll go back to them and go, what could we do to make it better? If we can't make it better, then it gets scrapped.
I've said quite a few times now, in fact many times, when I see the posts on Facebook, can anybody recommend a free resource for this? When you have something free, it comes at a cost. When you're looking for a resource for something, that's somebody's intellectual property. It's somebody's time and effort that's gone into that. If it's a website-based resource, there are massive costs involved in running a website to allow you to access that resource for what you think is free.
There are, even ours.
Yeah.
So ours has huge costs on it. If you actually look at ours probably cost about £10,000 a year just to run. Never mind anything that we want to add to that. Welcome to our world, where we could have £10,000 in our pockets, but we've actually put it back onto the website.
Or £10,000 where we can provide something back to school, like a book hamper or resources or whatever, but actually you all said you wanted a website with the stuff on it, so that's what you've got. Sorry, it was a bit of a whinge, but it's also, I think, our audience need to understand where it all comes from, how it all builds together, and why sometimes when those comments come through with, oh, it's really hard to find resources, Abigail sits there and she's snarling her teeth and breaking yet another one of them, because it's like, well, we're doing everything we can within what we've got.
Within the limitations that we have. Last year, we also released the Sensible SENCO 2023-2024 planner, which sold out very, very quickly, and we were amazed on the response that we had to this. There were some issues with it. If you remember back into the September that had an extra day.
We all need an extra day.
As long as it was a day off, it would have been okay. But September does not have 31 days, people. So that was just something that we'd missed. We had that part there of it. We've had the soft covers on it, which people really didn't like as much as that we were expecting them to do, so that we can keep the cost down. But we can quite happily announce that this year we have put the hard covers on. We have put the little slip inside the front page, the little pocket that you liked before, and we have redesigned it to be more
robust.
I look at Abigail and then she'll give me the word that I need, but I've realised that I start repeating it, so I'm not going to repeat it now. So she can give me the word, and then I'm going to stop repeating it. So robust.
We have, but the flip side of that is there is a significant price increase, partly because hardback, it costs a lot more. Partly because that then also means that spiral binding needs to be a bigger coil, and then of course there's an additional postage cost associated with it as well.
And when we asked the SENCOs whether you would actually mind this price increase for the durability of it, most of you said that's fine, basically.
So let's see if everybody puts their money where their mouth is for that, because they said the same about the conference, don't forget.
If these do not sell at the price that we're going to do, once again, it's going to come out of our own pockets. And while Sensible 24 was outgoing cost of about £8,000, planners are an outgoing cost of £15,000. Just for us to purchase the first set. It is appreciated if you do purchase it. If you have subscribed on the website as an annual member, that is already included in that annual membership, which is probably the best way to go about doing stuff, because then you get all the free webinars, and you've got your planner as well at the same time.
Are we thinking it's about £30 at the moment?
It's going to be £30 plus postage.
£30 plus postage, whereas last year it was £20 plus postage.
So you're looking at about £34.
And we're going to do pre-orders.
Once we've got a copy.
We will be doing pre-orders, and they will be shipped in the last half term of the summer. And we are only doing one batch run.
Unless they all sell out instantly, or we have pre-orders of over 550, and then we might do a second load.
Just to make that clear, pre-order means pre-ordered. It is paid at that point, not at point of shipping.
Yeah. I can't find 30 grand.
If you can, pay off my debts.
Can I pay off my own debts? Over the last year, we also opened a lovely little bookshop. What we want to do with this is take it a bit further than what it is, and expand the range of books within it, pick up the deals that we've now got from the publishers themselves, and make it cheap for you to buy your books on if you are a member. So recommended retail price, most people sell it for that. Even Amazon sells recommended retail price. We will be cheaper than recommended retail price to our members.
Many of the companies that we work with offer preferential rates, and we don't need the preferential rate on that, so we've agreed that we can pass on that preferential costing to you. So if I just give an example, if a book is supposed to retail at £10, very often they will sell it to the bookstore for £7, then we're able to pass on that discount as well, so it'll be £7. We do have postage on top of that.
I'll work on the postage.
It'll be a per item postage.
I'm gonna work out the postage, because I can see some big orders coming through from schools when they try to save loads and loads of money on books, especially if they've taken out one of the annual memberships and they want to kind of bang a load of books into their library.
Which kind of makes sense.
So alongside the bookshop in the future,
possibly this year,
in our future plans, it will be this year because we've already kind of signed up a thingy with some other people, is the Sen store. So your physical
adaptive resources
are going to be on that site there for you to be able to pick up and purchase from our affiliated people.
Yeah, so an example of that would be coloured overlays.
Yep.
Love them or hate them. Lots of people still have to buy them. So you would be able to come to our site to do that and come via us rather than having to go to separate sites to hunt them down.
Yeah, and the whole idea of the website is to become an area where everything is all under one roof. It's actually becoming a really nice platform for you to kind of go along to, because we've also got the interventions on there, we've got the resources on there.
I shared that to another group the other day. They were asking about where can I find out interventions to support different things.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, this is here. It's not quite finished, but you might want to go and look at it. And the number of really lovely comments I got on the bottom of it was really quite nice.
Yeah, we do. We're doing as much as we possibly can do, and lots of things just need finishing. And as another feature within our shop, we will have Sensible SENCO merch. Sensible SENCO merch is coming. Abigail wanted this. She said, I really, really want Sensible SENCO merch. And some of the feedback that we've had on the survey says, bring back the massive cups, Abigail.
So, a couple of years ago, when I created that very first planner, I also created tote bags, mugs, travel mugs, cushion covers, blankets, a whole variety of other bits and pieces for Sensible SENCO. I did it via Etsy to be able to sell it, but it was done by a print fulfillment centre. I calculated the prices incorrectly. It's incredibly expensive to do fulfillment orders. So I'd done all the calculations, and let's say it was costing me £5 to have all of the stuff done. So that was the cost to me. And then I was adding on, let's say, £3 for the postage and trying to sell it for £8. Well, as it turned out, I miscalculated. And instead of making money, I ended up paying for them.
Welcome to the Sensible SENCO, the place where finance is not the best thing in the world.
Accountancy is not my strength.
We're not very good at accountancy, to be honest.
We need a new accountant. So yeah, Etsy, it was because of all the different on-costs I ended up paying for it.
That is the same with absolutely everything. So unless you're paying directly to the bank account for Sensible SENCO, when you're ordering something, if you're going through Stripe and putting your transaction through on your credit card and everything like that, or PayPal or anything else, they all take a share. So I was looking at the prices for the Sensible 24 tickets, and while we're charging £75 at the time of this recording, we were only getting £72.40 out of that. Yeah. So, you do lose a lot. That
particular one doesn't sound too much, or too much of a difference, but it does add up.
It does add up to, if you consider all the tickets and all the different transactions and everything else. And if you consider the low value transactions, like the £5 a month that goes out on the membership, it does have a big impact on those because all of those go through the Stripe system. Okay,
we're going back for merch again, but limited supply.
It will be limited supply, and we're looking forward to kind of range. Doing as much as we can do though to put stuff out there that is going to be Sensible SENCO-fied.
The mugs were good. The big mugs. They were bigger. They were bigger than your Free Dobby mug.
There's nothing wrong with my Free Dobby mug.
Free Dobby's great, but it's a normal size mug. They were big mugs.
Ooh, a sensible forum. Now, Abigail's kind of against this, but she understands the reasons why something like this come through, especially if we can lock it right down and double check that everybody is a SENCO.
So I have issues with it. As everybody knows, we started out as a Facebook group, and the great thing about being the Facebook group is it's on your phone, it's on your device. People can log into it, they can see it when they need it. They don't have to go and log into a different system. I'm a member of just about every SENCO forum that is currently out there, and I have to log into a different system for it, and it drives me insane. And I don't think the chains of information are particularly great, and all the rest of it, and it's a very delayed response. So that's why I prefer the Facebook platform, because it is that almost 24/7 self-service platform. I get the hesitation around, posting certain things and other people can see it and all the rest of it. We don't do anonymous posts. I won't do the anonymous posting within the group, and that is more time that we do not have. So that's why there is no anonymous posting in our group. We're just not prepared to sit there and release every single post. And actually, I think there's a big problem with anonymous posts where people post them and they don't need to be anonymous. They really don't need to be anonymous.
And there is, but there are other ones that say to me, I know that my head is in here, or I know
that's
that
fair
a
enough.
parent is in here, or well, I think there's a parent in here, and I don't know if there is or not.
And that's where it goes back to some of the questions that we ask. And one of the questions is, please confirm that you are a SENCO or SEN professional and provide your school email address. And we get so many people who fill in that questions bit with, my school won't let me share my professional email address. Well, actually, your professional email address is public knowledge. All we're doing is asking you to confirm that you are working for a school. So in a way, our own members are making their own lives difficult, because we can't monitor that and we can't check that you are who you say you are. We're now having to find a different way of locking things down. I really don't want a forum, and I am quite happy about being public about that. Gavin and the other directors do, so we're going with it. I don't want a forum. I want the Facebook group, and I want that Facebook group to be a safe place for everybody. But again, it comes with that. We're asking you for something. We're not going to ask you for something unless we actually need it, and people need to kind of respect that, I think.
Yeah.
But then again, we're talking to people who are already a member of the group, as opposed to new ones coming in who don't understand what I've just said.
Maybe there needs to be some extra admin stuff from us to say this is how the group works, and some videos about what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and I get what you're saying, but I think a lot of the members, and according to what the data says on the survey, don't see a lot of the posts that we post out. So we post a lot of stuff out there, they don't see it because there are that many other SENCO groups that they are involved in, and you've seen it on your phone, I've seen it on my phone. Well, I don't see it on my phone because I've just left every other group. I'm only in Sensible SENCO, so that's all I see on my feed. I don't even have any friends on my Facebook group, and because I've just unfollowed everybody because all I wanted to do was see what was in the Facebook group.
See, I unfollow all of the other groups, but they are in my pinned groups on the left-hand side. I think a lot of it boils down to the fact people don't know how to use Facebook.
Possibly.
An awful lot of it boils down to, because they will literally just open it up and look at their feed,
scroll down the feed,
not look at the group. And it is so simple to find the group that you want and just look at that. And in fact, you could then close down everybody's groups and then just go to it when you want to access SEN.
And then we've got the MA, of course. So this year was the first year that we've launched an MA.
I have sessions on funding and budget and provision mapping, and sessions on knowing their needs. In fact, 3 sessions on knowing their needs.
So I'm sure they will all be looking forward to that. It is the first time that we've ever run an NMA.
Alongside the University of Buckingham, who I think have done a really good job, because they had literally 3 weeks to turn it around. So I think Bethany did an amazing job at sorting that out at very, very short notice. And I know there's been a couple of hiccups, but considering she only had 3 weeks' notice,
I think it's got there now. We've gone through the rough terrain,
gone through the teething
and
problems.
The teething part of it, and it's now kind of turning around. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, and then we will announce if or when we are enrolling new people into the one next year.
Yeah, so Buckingham University have approached me to ask whether we'd like to run something the following year and whether we'd like to run something once the MPQ is in place and therefore the SENCO has gone. So you wouldn't be able to use the SENCO credits towards it, obviously. But whether there is something we would want to do to make the MPQ a bit more worthwhile, because, of course, that's not at level 7.
That's if the MPQ actually goes ahead.
It should go ahead, but whether it's funded or not is a completely different question. It's funded for the first year, as far as we can work out. They've announced funding for September, but we're not entirely sure it's going to be funded beyond that. So I would grab the SENCO before the end of August 2024 if I was you, because it's a higher level qualification, and yes, okay, you have to pay for it, but it's cheaper than paying for a full masters.
Definitely cheaper than paying for a full masters. Although our masters is really cheap.
Ours, so the University of Buckingham Masters is cheap because of the condensed year and the fact you're cashing in some of your other credits. My Masters is somewhere around about 7,500.
Yeah, I know. I paid the bill.
You just have to pass it now.
This is by the end of this, I want some of the SENCOs to work out how much money I've actually spent on Sensible SENCO and Abigail's Masters, please, people. If you could just write that down, send it on a postcard to our address, and then we'll enter you into no prize draw.
A prize draw to pay his bills.
Because I've got no money left. Don't regret that.
I actually wanted to do a doctorate, but that's another story.
Yeah,
Not doing the doctorate, I've had enough of academic study.
I had enough of it after the first year.
I wasn't a doctorate, that was an undergraduate.
So undergraduate, and I go like, yeah, okay. So webinars for next year, we've got only a few spaces left for our experts to be able to join us. Wine and Wine is making a lovely comeback again. Lots of wine and wine sessions, because we know you guys love just randomly talking to us like we are at the moment.
But we do need it to be structured. We do need questions beforehand, because Abigail's brain kind of explodes when it's...
I think we'll top
just spring a question on Abigail. Yeah, usually I can answer them, but at the end of those sessions I have such a bad headache from having to think on the spot. It's quite painful.
I just like drinking the wine.
Yeah, you just like drinking the wine. I don't drink.
We'll do Baileys. Wine and Baileys. And this year it's going to be slightly different. So there's going to be a lot of sessions where they are dropping sessions, where you can come along and just ask your questions to leading experts. Legal, dyslexia, SLCN, EPs, and inspections. Will all be available for you to just drop into. We've got 4 sessions.
You can put them on the spot and give them a headache.
Yeah, 4 sessions across the year for each of those pieces there for you to be able to drop into. You'll see them all on our new events platform, which is events.sensiblesenco.org.uk. Along with that, with those 50 free tickets, of course, we have increased the cost of the tickets. I've said this many times now, they are £10 a ticket after those 50 free tickets, although members who pay £5 a month will get them for free. We've got some Abigail CPD sessions as well that she will be running along the year, and they are on...
Adaptive teaching, AI, and making good use of your teaching assistants.
Oh, you remembered them all this time. Abigail will also... be speaking at the dyslexia show.
I am. Haven't decided on my topic yet. I'm also speaking in Cardiff.
She is speaking at Cardiff.
At the education show.
Education show.
In October.
That's going to be a big one. I think that'll be a really, really big event. And we're looking to see where else we end up going this year. We may go back to the test show. We're not 100% sure at the moment whether that is something that we do.
I was going to say that I'm really, really busy as SENCO Solutions.
Are you?
Yes.
Really busy?
Yeah.
How busy?
So this year has seen a massive uptake in SENCO Solutions consultancy work, so either SEN health checks for schools or coming in and offering some CPD training, to the point that I am actually now... Usually somebody can contact me and say, oh, I could do with an SEN health check, when can you come? And I can normally say sometime within the next 4 to 6 weeks. At the moment, I'm looking at more 4 to 6 months into the future. So I actually haven't got any availability until the end of April at the moment.
Okay. So if you do want your SEN health check or your CPD session with Abigail doing, then please make sure you book that very, very quickly and get it ready. We'll get it ready for next year, to be honest, because we'll start booking for next year.
Absolutely.
And we're still offering, if you are an annual member, a discount on those, aren't we?
Apparently.
Apparently, I'm offering discounts for annual members.
I don't do the finances. So
That's just why we've got no money.
yeah, you're in charge of the finances.
I just give it away.
One of the really good ones that I did, which was in December, was instead of being asked to go in and do an SEN health check, as in a mini review, which is what they usually end up being, the school actually asked me to join them on a learning walk. So they'd already planned that they were going to go and look at high quality teaching in their classrooms and how the needs of SEN students were being met. And they invited me along as a pair of unblinkered eyes. And that was probably one of the best reviews I've done with a school. I think they got a lot out of it because they were like, oh, I never thought of it like that. I got a lot out of it though, because it was just very different to sitting in a darkened cupboard with loads of paperwork, which is what sometimes happens when I do reviews.
It's far more practical to be able to go around and do that and then look at it and then look at their own processes and go, are your processes actually what you're doing? Because that's the main question, isn't it? You know, are you actually achieving what you've set out to achieve? And then how do you achieve what you need to achieve, and what points do you actually need to do to follow that?
They were able to take away straight away, she said this, we can go straight in tomorrow and sort that one out, rather than it being, I've got to trawl through a report now and highlight the important bits and do whatever.
Yeah, it
was far more practical.
And that's much the same as your CPD sessions around adaptive teaching and stuff like that.
Practical.
They're just, you can do this, and then the school comes back to us and goes, yep, we've implemented everything in the morning, we've had a big meeting about it, and we're going to do everything that you've just said in your adaptive teaching CPD session. Let's go.
I think we must have had that feedback so many times now that he's like, yeah, you did this, and by the way, we put that in place already. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's so great to see the impact that you're having on the schools and that you go into. Just need to kind of keep going, and we'll get there eventually.
We still have the intention of taking Sensible SENCO down the charity route. However, we have made the decision, which we had a board meeting a couple of weeks ago, we have made the decision to pause on that temporarily. So not the next financial year, but the financial year after, so starting 2025, we are looking at that conversion into charity status. And there are multiple reasons behind that, but one of them is actually the potential change in government and the potential changes to tax laws and VAT and all the rest of it that goes with that.
Okay, so charity is coming 2025, not 2024.
There you go. Summary of the year and what's coming next.
There you go. So
probably missed a load of things out.
Have a happy new year.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a lovely new year, people. See you later.